Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Psyche. So I'm really excited about today's topic because it's one of my favorite things ever, and that is the breath. I've always found breaths to be really fascinating because it's one of the few things in our body that typically operates on its own automatically, yet we can choose to voluntarily control it. A lot of people probably already know that with the breath, you can control yourself when you're really stressed out by slowing your breathing. But there's actually a lot more to breath that I would love to share. In yoga practice, we call the breath pranayama. Prana means life force, energy, and yama is control or expansion. So we are literally controlling and expanding the energy, the life force within us. So going beyond controlling our emotions, I think the breath is so powerful because it really lets us connect with our internal state. There's a term called interoception, which means your ability to feel and sense your internal system. I think breath is the best initial step into really getting a good sense of interoception. Eventually, as your interoception gets stronger and stronger, you may even be able to feel your own heartbeat or feel your organs and whatnot better, which sounds kind of weird, but it is such a powerful tool in us really understanding our state of emotions, our physical health, and so many things better. And there is some research that shows that the more interoception we have, the better we actually understand others around us too, which is so important as we are social creatures. So going along with that, as you can feel your heartbeat more and you can understand your breathing more, you can actually begin to control your heartbeat and other systems with your breath. There has been some studies, and it's still not well studied yet, but that with breath work, you can actually not necessarily cure, but help the symptoms of serious illnesses like depression, anxiety, and possibly even Alzheimer's. Our bodies are one of the most important things throughout our lifetime. It's what carries us through, however long it is that we are here on this earth. So it's important to take care of it. And obviously that means, eating healthy and exercising, but it also means understanding and maybe somewhat being in control of what's going on internally as well. Another reason I find breathwork so powerful is because many people struggle to properly meditate because there are so many different techniques, and a lot of them say to clear your mind, and let's be honest, that is so hard to clear your mind. Or sometimes meditation will tell you to just focus on one thing. And if you are in a similar age range as I am, or even younger, you have really grown up around technology, which has made our mind so easily distracted, and it's hard to just focus on one thing. But I've noticed, at least for me, something that is so easy to lose all distractions is focusing on the breath, because especially at the beginning, it takes a lot of work to actually control the breath. There are even certain types of breath work, specifically shamanic or holotropic breath work, that can lead you into almost hallucinogenic type states. And that is something that I've found really fascinating, as I've mentioned a lot in my other videos, that psychedelic science is really interesting to me. But now knowing that I can achieve that higher consciousness just through breath is really exciting. However, I don't recommend that you go into those types of breath work until you are more familiar. It's really crazy to see how powerful the breath can be. For some people, the deep breath might trigger certain emotions that were dormant in them and cause them to start laughing hysterically or maybe crying. It can also hit trigger points of physical pain that have been neglected in the body. Maybe you have been neglecting something in your back for a long time or had an accident a few years ago. It can suddenly send a sharp pain there, which is actually sending a lot of healing energy towards there. Okay, so enough with the intro, because if you really want to know more about the science or the current studies or the spiritual views on breathwork, you can find that easily online. But I just wanted to share my 5 favorite breathing techniques, which are great for any beginner or anyone who's advanced. You can pause the video and keep going at it for a few minutes, or just write them down and do one of each, whenever feels right, because like I'll mention later on, each of these have different benefits. So the first breathing technique I'm going to cover today is box breathing. So the reason it's called box breathing is because as you do it, you can literally picture a box equal on all 4 sides. And so what we do is for 4 counts, we inhale, hold, exhale, hold. For this, you want to remember that you'll be inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. All right, so it goes inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. You're really just trying to get a very even cycle of breathing and allowing yourself to hold at the top of the inhale and hold at the bottom of the exhale, which are equally as important. Holding the breath at the top of the inhale can activate the sympathetic nervous system, which can increase your blood pressure, which sounds bad, but it's good because it's energizing your body. And then holding at the bottom of the exhale will put your parasympathetic nervous system into action, which will lower blood pressure and release that tense circulation. So again, that's why I say having a balance of both is helpful. And with both those different holds, you are strengthening your lung power. So this next one I am going to cover is a 3-step inhale. This breathing is really beneficial to you receiving a full supply of oxygen in parts of the body you may have been neglecting before. A lot of people do short breaths, and this will help you visualize a fuller, deeper breath. In yoga, it is called the Dirga Pranayama. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But so I would recommend, if this is your first time doing a deep 3-part inhale, is to lay down on your back. So as you are laying on your back, we will first begin with the first part of the inhale, which you will put your hand on your stomach and take a deep breath into your hand, and you will feel your stomach pushing out. Your hand will feel the movement of your stomach going out. All right, so that is the first region that we're focusing on. Then the second part of the inhale is to feel your ribs. So it might be helpful to put your hands on the sides of your ribs like this, and you breathe a little deeper this time, and you feel your ribs expand to the side. Okay, and now for the final and third part, and that is right here on the chest, collarbone area. So again, we're going to do an even deeper inhale this time, and we are going to feel the collarbones rising upwards. You may also feel a little bit of a hollowness form right under the collarbones in that cavity right there. And that is the full breath. Normally, we're only breathing really short breaths into our throat. This allows us to get a full dose of oxygen all through our lungs and, all through our body. And with this one, once we have the full 3-step inhale, we also want to exhale through our nose too this time. So it's going to be all through the nostril, but take it at whatever pace you want. There are no counts or anything. It's just until you feel all that air filling up your upper body. All right, so I will do an example a few times. So I think especially at the beginning, it's useful to isolate all the different regions, focus on filling up the stomach first, widening the rib cages next, and raising the chest. Once you really are in tune with your body and have become better and consistent with this breath work, you don't have to isolate it as much. You will be able to feel each separate region filling up without having to focus so hard on it. So the next breath that I really enjoy is called the breath of fire. And yes, it is as intense as it sounds. In Kundalini Yoga, which is what I'm practicing right now, this is actually the most commonly used breathing technique. And it's because it's so energizing. So, it is awakening the serpent, the energy within us. The previous two breathwork techniques are probably more on the calming side, while this one is very energizing. The other two, could easily be done at any time when you're at work, whereas this one is powerful and it is better to be done when you're in a grounding position. So the breath is a very cyclical breath, so it's going to be really fast and quick and powerful, but you want to be relaxed at the same time. Don't be overexerting yourself to do this one. But so how it goes is it's a equal exhale and equal inhale all through the nose. And what helps me is I visualize a circle. As you exhale, it goes out this way, and as you inhale, you're pulling in the air this way. And once my visualization of it is starting to get like oval, which means it's like long inhales or long exhales, I'm like, okay, this is out of order. I'm just going to do an example of how this breath works so it can maybe help you get a better picture of it. Alright, so notice the sound of my inhale and exhale are pretty equal. One is not more powerful than the other. So like I said, this breath work is a very energizing one. It is also said to release toxins in the body and maybe even boost our immune system. So this next breath is called the Kapalabhati or skull shining breath. It often gets mixed up with the breath of fire because they are pretty similar, but there is a pretty big difference with them. Like I mentioned with the breath of fire, you're doing very equal parts of inhale, exhale. The Kapalabhati, you are only forcing a deep exhale. You don't even pay attention to the inhale. The inhale is just going to passively happen on its own. This is an even more powerful breath than the previous one, and this one even more so. I recommend you are sitting on the ground in a relaxed state, because this one you can very easily feel lightheaded or just dizzy, which if you do feel dizzy, you should stop and take a few deep breaths, because that means that you have not enough oxygen in your body, which is very easy to get to that point with this one since it is heavily exhale focused. But again, this one is really powerful for energizing and cleansing the body of negative emotions or toxins or whatever it may be. This one, unlike breath of fire, which is all done through the nose, is also done through the mouth to get a really big deep exhale. At least when I've done it, I've seen both variations of it. Again, this one's kind of hard to explain. There's no real counts with it, but you want a big and strong and quick exhale. So I will show an example of how to do it. Okay, so as you probably can hear, I'm only really exhaling really loud. I'm not even thinking of the inhale. It's just happening because your body is naturally going to want to gain oxygen back. I'm not sure, but maybe you were able to see that my navel point was very quickly rising in and out. So again, that's a really intense one, and maybe you just want to start with 30 seconds of that one. And so the final breath that I will be sharing today is one of my all-time favorites. It is an alternate nostril breathing, which helps bring balance to the left and right side of the body, left and right side of the brain. And as you may know, the brain is contralateral in which part of the body it controls. So you're help bringing synchronicities throughout the body. Now, I'll talk about this later on at some point, but no one really is truly left brain or right brained, but the different sides do control different things within us, different systems, different mechanisms. On the more spiritual side, yoga side, it is said that the right nostril controls the sun energy, and the left side controls moon and emotions. If you will just take an inhale right now, you might notice that one side is actually breathing stronger than the other. And that's a natural thing. Throughout the day, our body is shifting which side it's breathing in and out more from. But we can balance that ourselves, and then we are balancing our energy and emotions. So what we will do is we take our right thumb and right index finger, and we are going to place it right here, right by the nose. And with our fingers like this, we will be covering the right nostril with our thumb, and then covering the left nostril with our index finger, and switching off. All right, so to start, cover your right nostril and inhale through the left. And then cover the left nostril, let go of the right, and then exhale through the right, and then inhale through the right. And then cover the right and let go of the left, and then exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, cover the left, let go of the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. So as you can see there, you want the first breath out of each nostril to be the exhale, and then you'll inhale and then switch over. I've found that to be a huge crucial difference. I've tried to do it the other way, where you inhale and then exhale, and it just doesn't make sense with the body. You want to release and let out everything before you are taking in through that nostril. Maybe that's just placebo, but that is the taught way to do it, and through my experience, that way just works a lot better. So if you're new to breathwork, I hope that one of these breathing techniques, if not all of them, have resonated with you. Maybe you've found that doing that quick little session of them created more stillness in your body, created more energy, whatever it is. Again, I recommend that you start slow with these breath works. Maybe you just put on a timer for 1 minute or 2 minutes, but you can work your way up to 30 minutes. And these are all, like I mentioned earlier, they have different uses. So maybe you want to practice one when you know you're in a stressed out state. Maybe that deep 3-part breath will help you when you're under a very deep and tense emotional state. And maybe when you're in your afternoon slump but you have some work to get done, you can do the breath of fire or the Kapalabhati to get your body all energized. And when you feel like you're not completely in balance, maybe you're feeling way too creative but not in reality at all, or vice versa. You've been in a straight up like coding or mathematics state of mind for a while, and you want to bring back in some of the more linguistic, artsy side back into you, then the alternate nostril breathing will be really beneficial. So these are only a few different types of breath works, and they're my personal favorite, but there is a plethora of so many different ways you can breathe. So if none of these aligned with you at all, maybe go online and look up other types of pranayama techniques, whatever. Just do a Google search, and I'm sure you'll find so many, and one of them will most likely align with whatever it is your body or mental state needs at that time. And if people did enjoy this video, I am super down to share more breathing techniques in another video, because as I mentioned, breathwork is one of the things I'm most passionate about right now. And as I continue my yoga teacher training, I more and more want to focus on that as what I will share and teach. In the future, I can do a 10 to 30-minute guided breathwork that will actually lead you through everything instead of just here's some info, go to do it on your own. So thank you for watching this video. And as usual, please like please do both, like and subscribe if you found this video to be of any use. And I'm just starting with YouTube videos, so please give me all the critical commentary, the helpful, positive criticism. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I just want to share things that I find really valuable and important to health with other people. So if there's any way I can get those messages out better, maybe the way I'm speaking or the way I'm editing my videos, whatever it is, just please let me know and I will appreciate that very much. And until next time, bye. Oh, and remember to stay hydrated. Okay, I can't reach my water, but stay hydrated as you're doing a lot of intense breath work.